Good afternoon. It's Marco Zanini, and I'm here together with my colleague,
Hi,
Miss
everybody.
Angelica Chimienti, for the new webinar 101 Cafe. The main topic today will be something very important for any activity. So all of steps to run a project from the beginning to the final open. Angelica is our training manager. She is in charge of anything is connected with the training, with any kind of support, pre-sales, sales, after sales, and also with any tool connected with the training, including our internet, including anything to connect the franchisee in the most efficient way to the mother company. While I am the business developer, so I am the guy usually talking about our franchise and, well, in general, what we do as a main activity. So here the list of the topics we discuss today. So basically, we will start with who we are. Later, with how we support our franchisees to reach their opening. Later, the chapter with Angelica will be training for the franchisee and his staff. We will talk about the knowledge about products and what to sell. And finally, well, the resume for the steps from the shop fitting to the opening. Here I introduce very quickly our network. We have more than 120 units in Italy and all over the world. The network is growing. The network grew in 2020 and is growing also in the beginning of 2021. For 2021, we have many openings everywhere. So we already have 4 new countries on running with locations that are under construction for the final opening. So here you see a landscape about where we are and where we are going all over the world. Here you see some of our units. You see the facade, and you can find some differences between what could be a shopping mall and what could be downtown. Here again, a store in shopping mall, and here a store with takeaway coffee shop. So a place where you can enter, you can buy for your private use, and you can also drink and eat something on site. And the coffee shop. The difference between retail with coffee shop takeaway and coffee shop, you can see, well, is the place you give to the local consumption, so to the consumption on site. Here, what is most important is the counter. Later, the place is to sit down, and finally, the sales. While here you have an harmonized division of the space between selling and serving. What is franchise? Franchise is a mix between many things, and all of them are absolutely natural and very important. You don't have franchise if you don't have together know-how, assistance, brand, and products. I receive sometimes some inquiry. I would like to have your products because these are very good. Well, I every time thank people for the appreciation. Anyway, franchise is not product. Anyway, franchise is not brand, but is a mix between all of these features. Well, Angelica well know that we can open later problem in store, and she knows very well how much is important to solve problem in store. So if you don't have assistance, that's not support, that's not franchise. If you don't have know-how, well, I give you the product and later you can move because, well, I have no experience, I have nothing to tell you. Well, this is not franchise. So I come back to the slides. Well, this is connected with the previous slide. So know-how, brand, reduce the risk, range and economies of scale, and assistance are the basic components of a franchise. You can find many different kind of franchisees. You have people that would like to have a reconversion. I would like to change my life. I lost my job. I would like to start something by myself, something independent as an owner, but for myself. This is self-employment. Well, I am a businessman. I have other retail activities. I would like to run more retail activities with the same brand, with different brands, connected, not connected. I am a multi-unit. I would like to take one brand and, well, spread the brand all over the territory because I have the structure. I have the mind to do it. I have the experience. I manage other brands. I have a very good portfolio. I am a master franchisee. So basically, these are the different identity of franchisees. This is a profile about what you are and what you would like to be. One-on-one Cafe is a membership with Franchise Association. So since December 2017, we also become partner of Food Empire Holdings in Singapore. They entered in our as well as associate in our company, even if we are the leader in our company, and our company continue with is 101% Italian soul. This is our team. In our team, you can see we have a lot of people in offices and a lot of people in logistics. Logistics is very wide. We talk about 2,500 square meters. Because you know, maybe how it works our market. We have a lot of units everywhere in the world. We have a network, so we need to have stock, and we stock for all of the network to let you have the products ready for your orders. It's not important if you are located in Singapore, if you are located in Canada, or if you are located in Italy, but products are available for your orders. Here's some information about the market of coffee. I leave you the slide, but I also talk with you a little bit about it. Coffee market, as a general overview, didn't suffer for crisis. This is something historic. This is not something only recent, but this is something happened also in the past. So you know that coffee is the second material all over the world for turnover after petrol, and is the second drink most important all over the world after water. So you can understand how much coffee is interesting for people everywhere. And one point very important in our market is that coffee could change, but well, as any product in the market, there are trends. And now, for example, a trend very important is the single portion. Single portion in last year increased a lot everywhere. Also for well, you know, questions not depending by us, but the result everywhere in any market we operate was very, very important in terms of increasing of interest, increasing also of turnover. So how do we support our franchisees to reach their opening? Well, probably know that we have many concepts, we have many models. This is also connected with the identity of franchisees, for example. So we have store plus takeaway coffee shop, coffee shop with market, and coffee truck. A store is something you usually, store is something quite small for our experience. You don't need so much space, and store is a good model also for self-employment, depending by the place. So store could be an investment, could be good for a master franchisee, for a multi-unit, for self-employment. More or less, stories with takeaway is the same, because surface, again, is not so big. We talk about a surface usually of 50 square meters, but it could be also less, depending by the place. While coffee shop with market is something bigger and also more important as investment. And finally, coffee truck. Coffee truck is very particular because it could be very profitable depending by the place. Anyway, you know, licenses and legal compliances are different country by country for this kind of job, because well, you can find sometimes fixed license, so you have your position, or it's possible that you need to find a license, well, to move yourself from one place to another one. So again, this is not the same all over the world. I faced with many inquiries, and every time we have something different to consider in permission, in electricity, in equipments, and so on. So startup phases could be slightly different, model by model. Anyway, what you can find every time are the evaluation for investment and financial requirements. So you need to evaluate what is your situation and what you would like to do, okay? And of course, I also give my suggestion. I have some experiences where people would like to do something very big, so they demanded for big financement to banks, and they were refused because financement were too much big. So it's very important you evaluate what you would like to do and what you can do. Later, there is a question to evaluate well the financial situation together, also together. The same is for the location. You need to understand if you would like to move in downtown, in the industrial area, or in a shopping mall, for example, because you know better than us your territory. Later, we can support you with our experience about the business, but you know better your territory, and you know better, of course, your finance. The same is for business plan. We know the structure of a business plan in our segment. We know how to build it, but you need to understand before what you would like to do. Because if you would like to build a business plan for self-employment for a small store in downtown, business plan is completely different from a coffee shop, big size in shopping mall, completely different. We usually provide also support and most of all suggestion and advice in licenses and requirements for business. So I perfectly know that you are well connected with local authorities, but more than legal topics, there are topics that people sometimes don't know. So I discussed many times, I gave many suggestions also to deal with the landlord, to understand what is the real situation of the location and so on. And finally, the agreement. Also, There is also a question of consultancy, a mutual understanding between you and me about what are clauses and what it makes sense in terms of agreement for the location. Of course, some of you, maybe most of you, already have the experience to do everything better than me. Anyway, I am open-minded, and I open my knowledge, well, my poor knowledge, what I know to you. Here we open the question about project and fitting. Project and fitting provided by one of our CAFFE are complete. So here you will see some examples of project and some examples of fitting in pictures. Project, you know, is the complete layout. So maybe you are in Western Union, in Western countries, in European Union. Maybe you are in a rich country, and well, you prefer to have everything, the full fitting provided from Italy. Or you have, well, you are not in a rich country, but in any case, you would like to have everything from Italy. Of course, we can move it. This is what we usually do. But if, on the other hand, on the opposite, you would like to move the fitting on local place because, well, costs are more convenient on local site, we can move the design, we can move the project to you, and you can realize the fitting by yourself. But we can assist any phase, and this is what we do. And this is what we do in executive projects with our partners. So there are some countries where our partners build their units by themselves, following our guidelines, following our design, and with the support of our team for any step. And there are countries where our partners opened having our complete support, so from the project to the building. And now I leave the space to Angelica.
Thanks Marco. Thanks. Hi to everybody. So I'm Angelica, and I'm the training manager. So I'm the one in charge of the training program for the franchisee, and of course, even for his staff. As Marco, thanks Marco. As Marco said before, 101 CAFFE in Italy, we can say is the real franchising in coffee market. That's the reason why we are a real organized and structured company. And I can tell you that all our new franchisees can feel it right from the first training period. And then, of course, they have the proof during the practice. You saw before how many people work for the company. So let's say something about our training program that, of course, start with pre-opening step, but basically it never ends. So during the pre-opening program, we are gonna use together our online platform where you will find a lot of useful materials such as video tutorial of different kind of coffee maker, for example, that can help you to understand how to use it, how to descale it, how to cleaning, and then of course you can share this video to your customer post-selling. Then there is the practice phase. So you have the operation training in our if you want, of course you can get some practical training in the store owned by the company, and then the final step is that one of us come to you in your unit to follow you from the preparation to the opening. Then, of course, there is the post-opening, and we always keep in touch with different kind of one-to-one channel. You will get your personal Telegram group where you can share all your doubts, your questions, and you will find always one of us ready to reply to you. We can set up video conference and supplementary training. Okay, here you can see a focus on our online platform that, as you can see, is organized in different chapters. And so here you will find all the different materials, such as the videos that I told you before. The really important thing is that you will always have this platform. These platforms will be always available to you and to your staff, so you can keep reading, you can keep studying, and that's really important in order to improve all your sale skills and to become some great salesperson that they know how to talk to the people and above all how to sell the product. I can tell you that one of our main goals to achieve is to make you available to work alone quickly, so by yourself as soon as possible. And here you will find the most important topic that we are gonna discuss together during the training program. Of course, we always start from the product, because it's really important that you know everything about the product that you have to sell, because we want to sell as much as possible, of course. Then we are going to study together all our software systems, so how to use the cash point, how to manage the orders, the importance of the warehouse, and how can you read your business intelligence and your sales data. Last but not least, we are going to discuss about the store and about the selling. So how to keep your store always in a properly way, how to selling, for example, for upselling or for cross-selling, and how to manage even the post-selling, that sometimes we can say that it's even more important than the selling phase. Okay, and okay, here that's a picture of us. We were in Pesaro. It was a really great day. We were opening the new format, so the shop plus the takeaway. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. Yes, of course, in order to achieve the good sales results, it's very important to have a wide, complete range. And we can tell you that 101 Cafe is really focused on this since 2012. But we can say also that it's not enough without a good selling and a good post-selling. So you have to know your product, you have to know how to display on your shelf and on your window display. That's really important. And that's the reason why during the training we pay a lot of attention to this aspect. So, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Angelica. Yeah, because now we start with the new chapter.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for your contribution and your passion.
You're welcome.
Well, you know, I had sometimes training together with Angelica, and it was a very strong experience also to me about how to communicate with people and how to be connected. What is very strong and what I feel also inside the company is that well, this is very important in not only retail but in any activity where you face customers. Is the the proactivity to solve any kind of problem, and this is also what I experience every day with my colleagues and what I saw during the training together with her. Well, now we move about the question of products. Angelica introduced the topic. The topic is very important, and here we are well, very strong. I don't tell something strange or something particular, but every time I tell people, okay, we are the only one having 1,600 SKUs in our segment. No one can count so many products in the world. No one. We work at present with 11 different kind of capsules. We work with 2 different kind of pods, with soluble, with beans, with ground, with different kind of grounds. For example, with Turkish, with American, and with Italian coffee for mocha. And as you can see, we have a lot of different drinks. So we have many varieties of regional and artisanal Italian blends. We have single pure origin coffee, gourmet flavored coffee, and other hot drinks. What is healthy? So, for example, vegan drinks, gluten-free, lactose-free, sugar-free, and so on. tea infusions, chamomiles, and also soups. So salad drinks you can take as a consomme. And makers and accessories. Everything is branded. Well, most of the range is branded 101 Cafe because we are producer. We are directly producer. We also are producers about the makers. So we have our technical department. We have our spare parts. We have the full knowledge about the makers, how they work, what is the activity in selling, what is the activity in after sales. That for any electrical device, after sale is maybe more important than sales. And a lot of accessories, giving people the idea to be in a place where they can choose. The same is for Le Sfiziosità. Le Sfiziosità is another one brand registered and owned by 101 Cafe. Le Sfiziosità are, well, we call them something tasty. So I'm talking about flavored sugar, I'm talking about biscuits, about toppings, about chocolate, about cream, about many different things you can, you can consider as a complement of the king, so complement of coffee. And here you see in details why we tell every time that we have artisanal coffee coming from different regions, because this is true. Any blend has an history, and the history is connected with the territory. And here you can see how it looks in terms of packaging. Here we selected Sicilia. Sicilia is is maybe the favorite blend in offices in 101 Cafe. Is a balanced blend, 40% of Arabica, 60% of Robusta, dark roasted. This is fantastic in taste, for my personal opinion, and it represents perfectly what is the territory, because you can see the central plaza of Palermo in the packaging. Palermo is the capital city of Sicily. And here, we got some achievement in latest years. We won the prize as Retailer of the Year in 2020-2021. The other one finalist was Nespresso. We are particularly proud of it. And we won the same the year before, always against Nespresso. So it means that Italian customers had their election day, and they voted us as the best retailer in our category. This is for 2 years. While regarding the prize Best Product of the Year, we won the latest 3 editions. So 2020-2021, we won with Gran Milano, the year before with Napoletano, the year before again with Nocciolini. So now we discussed about the installation and the last steps for the training. Now I improve a little bit my speed, because we have a lot of things to discuss yet. Franchisee supported from the fit into the opening, including the day of the opening. The day of the opening is very important to focus very well the communication, to be efficient for local people, so for the local market. So it's very important to have an idea about what to sell, how to exhibit products, how to exhibit ourselves also. So it's very important to make a good selection of products, arrangement of goods on shelf, visual merchandising, something followed by Angelica, visual displays, graphics, communication and promotion. All of these topics are a part of the full image, of the full view by the customer. So they enter in your unit the first day, the day of the opening. They don't know the brand, or maybe they know it. but well, they look at everything, and they have a total view. So, well, maybe we are good, maybe we are lucky, but most of the times I heard people commented, well, that's very good. Looks very nice. And looks nice. It's not a question of one single packaging or I don't know, one single picture or well, the clothing. But looks nice is the general view about everything connected. And you have to consider that for the opening, for the installation, we also consider local market events and seasonals. So, for example, every time we are preparing the program to open, we also try to understand if there is an event most important in the city, and what it could be the time and what it could be the hour. Okay. You know that, for example, it could be very important to open in December, but before Christmas. So the event for your opening is Christmas, because people understand that they can find something also as a gift. So there are some times, so Christmas, so Easter, if I consider most of all Europe, that are very good to sell. So it's very important to set up correctly the business before this time. Here you can see some examples of final layout and how it looks inside and how it looks outside, and the opening day with our trainer together. Well, you get positive performance. Well, how do you get positive performance? At first, this is not something you need to feel. This is something you need to check. And you get positive performance through the constant analysis of sales data and turnover budget ratio. So what I mean is that you don't need to tell yourself, oh, today I got a lot of customers. Oh, today I sold a lot. No, this is not a feeling. These are numbers. You need to check at the end of the day how much you got. Well, it was Saturday, it was very positive. What about the last Saturday? Oh, it was better. What about the last month? Oh, it was better. So this Saturday was positive, but compared with what? You need to check every time, constantly, the data. You need to understand what is happening inside your unit. Later, preparation of the shop and of the windows in line with company. This is not only for the opening. When I told you about visual merchandise, and again, Angelica knows it very well, this is not a question of the opening. Because you cannot think, okay, now I open. I set up my display, this is fantastic, and this is final. I will take the same display ever. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not for seasonal, not for the local territory, not for messages, for promotion. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but the eye is used to acquire the same picture. So if the display is always the same, I don't notice the display. I notice maybe the first time, and then I don't notice the second, I don't notice the third. But if you change the display, people walking outside, maybe they don't notice the display first time, but they notice the second or the third or the fourth. Later, adequate supply of the shop. So you need to have products inside, good promotion to start, pleasant atmosphere and environment, favorable to purchase, and sales staff. Sales staff needs to be also trained. So sales staff is able to provide customer service, and sales staff has a good understanding about products. So here the question of easy management. The software allows you to always keep in mind what is the situation, and all of elements are under control. So you need to check through the software, with any software you use, warehouse stocks, order management, and daily, weekly, and monthly reporting are the most important KPI. Because again, it's not important you have a feeling about the activity. Feeling is good, because positive feeling is always good. It's good for passion, it's good for your job, it's something that motivates you. But if you would like to make profit, figures. Feelings and figures are together, but figures are profit, feelings are passion. And this is very important and connected with the customer service. Our warm welcoming involves all of senses. So we have a degustation area. Here we are talking about store, okay, where you only sell. So here you have a degustation area to discover quality and taste different varieties. Warm colors to attract people and give something familiar as a feeling. And here feelings are very important. Coffee aroma, Italian music, lights, and packaging. Here we talk about feelings. You come inside also because you find something warm. You find something familiar. So you enter, and this is the part connected with feelings. This is the part emotional, because this is relation. So in relation, you need also to be a little bit emotional. Not in business. In business, you work with figures. I'm sorry if I repeat, but this is very important. Here you will find the link also in the slides about the TV spot we moved. This is emotional, for example, because this is not for recruiting for franchisees, but this is for final customers. We had 6 weeks of campaign on TV last year. And here an assumption provided by my boss, but again, very, very important every time you think about franchise. In franchise, there are two subjects, franchisor and franchisees. Both of them need to be respected one each other. Franchisor is one company and one entrepreneur with a structure. Franchisee is one company and one entrepreneur with a structure. Inside both structures, you have people, and people every time needs respect. So there is also a question of roles. We don't tell you we are better than you, because we are not. We have more experience than you, because we opened 120 units. We open in many countries, so we have more experience probably than you about the business, but you have more experience than us about the territory. So what is very strong to get something successful is to mix experience. So we are open for your suggestion, and you are open for our suggestion. This is what I like so much in this job, in my job, is that I'm not here to sell something. I'm here to build a relationship, because franchise is relationship. And this is also the reason why there is support in any activity, because otherwise in selling, I sold you something and that's your business. In franchise, you build a relationship every time. A relationship is based on mutual respect. Mutual respect as people and mutual respect in roles. Well, this is our flag. We are Italian. We are proud to be Italian, and we are proud to have everything Italian, from the design to the products to the staff. Well, we are not. We talk Italian. We talk Italian. We talk also in other languages, But every time someone tells me, okay, what is the origin of products? I'm proud to reply every time that everything comes from Italy. Because this is our flag. This is what we are. And here you have all of data to contact us as you prefer, when you prefer. So now, well, I am in time. That's very good and strange for my habits. We are open, both of us, for your inquiries. You can ask everything you have in mind. Everything you have in mind to me about the business, to Angelica about the training. We are here for you. Don't worry to ask right now, and don't worry to ask later. Also by all of connections we have, by email, by WhatsApp, by telephone, by everything. Okay. Yeah, I didn't specify it so well. The question of the software, I told you before that well, you need to have a connection, a connection between warehouse, orders, KPI in business intelligence with your software. Not important what is the software you use. Well, I didn't specify in details. We need to be connected with you, one-to-one with the software. So we know sometimes that depending by the country, where do you come from, sir? Okay, from Egypt. We know very well that depending by the country and depending by the regulations, you could be forced by your government to use your software, or you could be forced for a question of language to use your software. This is not a problem. This is not a problem. But software is very important also for you to create a connection, with anything is in your activity, and also to create a connection with one CAFFE. So this is not mandatory that you use our software. Of course, we can provide our software everywhere. Don't worry for a question of difference in hours and different in times, because now we are working with -9 with Canada, and we are working with +6 with Singapore. So don't worry about it. Okay, the question is between is regarding the training. Okay, it's the same guy from Egypt. No, Angelica could explain you better, but it's not mandatory that the training is inside the headquarters or is inside our direct stores. I well understand what is the reason of the question, Angelica, because there are sometimes, and particularly today, there are sometimes questions with the visa, with the passport. So people from Egypt cannot come in Italy. So he only asked me, well, in this case, if it's possible to have the training only on site. I reply for you if this is comfortable for you. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. For example, thinking to Morocco, thinking also to Kuwait, we provided the full training on site. While for Singapore, we had a mix, because first part of the training was in Italy, second part was in Singapore. The same was for Armenia, first stage in Italy, second stage in Armenia.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The same is with Switzerland.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't say before, but in something that, of course, if you can, we are more than welcome to provide to you, of course, yes.
And,
otherwise,
well, you can also remind me, but I think that you already moved some training also online.
Of course, yes, absolutely, yeah. Yes, yep.
And trust in me, people, that this is efficient the same, because you have the same a direct connection one-to-one. Of course, we know very well that a direct connection on site is more efficient, because you can touch things and you can also move yourself. You can explain by hands, you can explain directly in visual, and the training on site is always more efficient. Anyway, there is also a question of what is possible to do. No, okay. I think that we can consider the webinar. Okay, the cost. Do you have a box of different products and taste, and what does it cost? We usually don't have it, and I explain you why. We sold about one mixed box, but there are some different features to avoid it, and I explain you what is that. The first one is the question of HS code. You write to me from Denmark, so you don't have the problem of HS code. Anyway, every time you move the goods outside European Union, you need to declare what is the HS code. So, for example, for coffee, you have 090121. If you have one box having coffee and nocciolino, you have two different HS code, and this is not easy for customs clearance, and this is a first reason. The second one is the shelf life, because again, every time you have one product, you have one shelf life. If you have one box with many products inside, well, it's quite hard to manage different shelf lives. Also for a question of production. If I think to chocolate, for example, for Nespresso, shelf life is 36 months. If I think to coffee, shelf life is 24. So it's quite hard to manage something so different, also when you approach the customer. And at third place, there is a question of local. I explained that the business is your business would be local, so you need to face with local customers, and your local customer has a different taste. So maybe we like so much chocolate, and they don't like. So we prepare one mixed box, and you don't sell it because the local taste is different from ours. I'm sorry. Okay. The question to have some taste by yourself, absolutely not a problem. I suggest you to write to email me, asking me a list of products that are most interesting for you, or otherwise email me only as a memo, so I prepare for you what is more popular. So I give you a list, an overview about what is more popular. So you have an idea about what are the tastes to try to yourself and to your potential customers. Absolutely, yes. This is not a problem. Maybe I lost one question. I'm sorry. So now I check it. Okay. Franchising price. Franchising price, I'm completely transparent and honest with you. Okay. But franchising price is not a short reply because, well, I could provide a short reply about one bag of coffee because one bag of coffee is something you can touch. It's something I don't need to explain you because, okay, this is the product you buy, you take, and you use. Franchise is not the same. Franchise is a mix of everything. So you have a question of the entry fee, you have a question of investment for the fitting, you have a question of products, so for the first supply, logistics, transport, clearance. So your final cost is not something to define with one very quick reply. So I am absolutely open to discuss about this topic later, but this is not really, this is something very complicated to discuss because you and us both of us, we need to evaluate all features. So, for example, as I told at the beginning of the webinar, investment and total cost for one store, 30 square meters, is not the same of investment and total cost for one coffee shop, 80 square meters. Absolutely not the same. How many days the training take? We usually consider 2 weeks. So we have sometimes something lower because the franchisee is already structured, because the franchisee has already experience, because of a question of, well, a double training. For example, in Armenia, we didn't move 2 weeks of training, but we moved just 1 week. But this is something discussed with the franchisee, because the franchisee told me, well, later I would like to move the location from store to store with takeaway. So I would like to separate the training 1 week before and 1 week later. And we know that when he moves to store with takeaway coffee shop, we have the second week of training. So we usually consider 2 weeks to have properly a full training about everything, and also not only to have a training, but also to have an understanding, because we need to understand what is your approach to people, and we need to understand what is the approach of people to you, because we have our experience. Our experience is not only Italian, it's more or less international. Anyway, when we move to a new country with new people, maybe with a different approach, we need to understand if our communication is efficient, if your communication is efficient. For example, I also experienced well, there is something particular I can explain you. In Singapore, we have now 3 units, but if you consider the first and the second one, country is the same, our partner is the same, our trainer was the same. Anyway, the approach and the target of people, the target customer, was completely different. So in the first unit, people were very, very positive for a proactive approach. So I discuss with you, I involve you, I let you taste. In second unit, not. They were completely negative to a proactive approach. They were positive to enter, to check, to see, and maybe later to ask. But if you approach them in something proactive, they go. So we need to get and share experience with you. So the standard is 2 weeks. Of course, we can also move supplements of training if necessary, also later, over the 2 weeks. This is something absolutely normal, because of course it means that we analyze together that the situation is not fully satisfactory, that you need more support, that we need to understand better what is happening, because we check figures and there is something strange. We come back again to you, and maybe we don't come with the trainer, maybe we come with the CEO, maybe we come with the visual merchandising. Maybe we come with others. I also went sometimes in location to understand what happened. I was in Marrakesh, for example, not for the opening, not for the training, but 1 year later the opening, to check what was happening, to check about the communication, the approach, and how it works. Okay, I think that we can consider right now the webinar as complete. Don't worry to ask anything by email, by telephone, by WhatsApp, also by Skype. I have no problem in connections. Also by Telegram, I have no problem in connection. Most of you already are connected with me. Don't worry to ask, because running a business is not easy. We discussed during the webinar about the support we provide. So it means that we are not here to tell you, okay, you open, you go, and well, later, if you need something, you can ask. No, you need to know what you do. You need to have our support. So move, ask, ask, ask. Have a nice evening. Stay tuned and stay healthy.
Bye.
Bye bye.